some of the smaller streams and rivers, as Tom has mentioned, have dropped a little bit.
Dropped a little bit. They are expected to rise again, though, so definitely stay on guard. This is certainly not over. Let's go out to one creek, especially that is expected to rise again, out in Lancaster County in Marietta. That's where we find CBS 21's Chris Pabst. He joins us live now with the Lancaster County Mobile Newsroom. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Tanya. We're here off of Marietta Avenue, which is also Route 23, about a mile east of Marietta. And this area is going to give you a really good idea of exactly what Marietta is going through right now. So if we start over here, we see that this truck is partially submerged in the water. About 2.5 hours ago, the water was up to the top of the wheel wells, so you can see how fast it's going down now. But if you look behind the truck, you see there's a garage. On the other side of that garage, there's a house, and neighbors here tell me that that house has washed away. They said the foundation washed from underneath of that house. There's still some remnants of the house left, like the roof or maybe even some walls, but they said the house is gone. The homeowners, the property owners, they're gone too. They left this morning. They haven't been back since. Now, if we direct our attention back here, you see that there's a tree that fell over in the water, and it fell on top of these power lines. If you follow the power lines up, you see the power lines were strong enough that they actually tilted and bent that wooden pole right there, the power pole. So now we have power lines in the water with the rushing water, very dangerous situation. And then if we drop down a little bit, you can see that the water is rushing underneath the bridge. Now this is Chickies Creek. This is a little creek, and the people here tell me the creek is normally about 20 feet under the steel supports of that bridge. But you can see right here that the water is just about 3 feet under it, flowing very quickly. And people say just a couple of hours ago, the water was actually going up over top of that bridge. Now, when that happened, the bridge had to be shut down. It became compromised. And normally, if we can make our way up this way, when officials close an area, close a street or a bridge, they put tape across it, or maybe those wooden horses that you see that have the yellow reflective tape. But in this case, they dumped this giant pile of rocks. And these are big rocks right here. So you can see that they're very serious about people not walking or even driving across this bridge. And then shortly after, police came and they put the tape here as well. Now, this bridge doesn't appear to be the most sturdy of bridges. It does have some wear and tear to it. It does appear to be an older bridge, but of course, this is a very popular destination right now for the people who live in the area. Here's what one woman had to say that we talked to.
This is incredible. This is amazing. This is Agnes all over again. Remember Agnes from when I was a child. In fact, I don't know if it was this bridge or the next bridge, but during Agnes, one of those two bridges were knocked out then too, gone.
Now you guys can see right here that this bridge is definitely have some wear and tear to it. It's just kind of crumbling as I go over it. And also down here you can see that the steel reinforcement for the concrete, that's actually come out of the concrete in some places. So this bridge to begin with looked to be a little bit compromising, with the water even more so, and they had to shut it down. Live with the Lancaster County Mobile Newsroom in Marietta, Chris Pabst, CBS 21 News.
And we want to take you out live right now. CBS 21's Chris Pabst joins us with a live report. Chris?
Well, guys, we're here in New Cumberland, and we're going to show you this area in just a second. But first, we're joined by U.S. Congressman Todd Plass, who represents the 19th District here, including in New Cumberland. Yeah. Now, you just came out of this boat right here. You took a tour of the area, including the sewage treatment plant that's back here. Tell us what you saw. What can you tell us?
Well, a lot of devastation. Your heart goes out to the families here, the businesses, and where the water already is, and hopefully it'll continue to recede. But certainly going to be quite a recovery effort. But most importantly, everyone's safe. And that's a credit to the local officials, volunteer firefighters, River Rescue, doing a remarkable job. So I'm glad to get here to kind of get an assessment of what the damage is as we work with FEMA at the federal level, FEMA at the state level. Governor Corbett and his team have done a great job. Just that we work as a team, federal, state, and local government, in both the response to the flood and then the recovery, but also to be out here to say thanks to the volunteers who are doing a great job.
Now, speaking of the response from the federal government, the local municipalities, yourself, and even the state, can you just get a little bit into more detail about what the people here can expect as far as the assistance that may come or the help that they may get?
Yeah, at the federal level through FEMA, there's kind of two. First, there's assistance from the federal government related to the response to the flood. And that's something that Governor Corbett, on behalf of the state, is already working with FEMA. This morning, the president issued a declaration of disaster here, a disaster area. And when we move into the recovery, there's assistance both to public entities as well as private citizens. Really, it's temporary assistance, housing if they can't be back in their homes. The best things that families or individuals can do is to be in touch with their local municipality, so the borough of New Cumberland here or their township, wherever they live. The more people that report to their municipality, that helps to gather that information that then goes to the state level, and as they present that case to the federal government, that kind of helps to streamline the process for aid coming to everybody.
Okay, so then where do you head from here? We know that you have a speaking engagement at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, actually heading to a ceremony regarding the 10th anniversary of 9/11 and remembering those who were lost and those who continue to battle the enemy far from home as we speak. And then later tonight I'll be back out here along the river, down in Goldsboro, Wrightsville, Helm area, and continue to kind of just get a good feel for what the needs of my district are going to be.
All right, Congressman Todd Plass, thank you so much for joining us. We know that you stuck around a little longer than you had to, and we really appreciate that. All right, guys, so now we are here, as we said, in New Cumberland. We are on Bridge Street, which is a very appropriately named because if you look down here, you can see this bridge, but this bridge is currently underwater. Now, this is the Yellow Breeches Creek. Normally, there's about a 17-foot span between the water and the very bottom of that bridge, but as you can see, the water is at least 22 feet above that is covering the bridge. Now, just to give you a little geographical idea of where we are, if you go about a block and a half this way, that's the Susquehanna River. So this mostly is the easternmost point for the Yellow Breeches as it becomes a tributary into the Susquehanna. But since the Susquehanna is so high, this water doesn't have anywhere to go. So you can see that it's backing up along the street here. Now, the man that lives in this house right here, I got a chance to speak with him. He said that he spent last night in a hotel. He evacuated, but before he left, he took all of his belongings from the basement and he put them onto the first floor. The update here is that he does have some water on his first floor. For the most part, the water was able to stay in the basement. He fears that he's going to lose his furnace, he's going to lose his water heater, but he does have flood insurance considering that this is a floodplain. This does happen on a fairly regular basis, so he's going to be able to take care of that with the insurance that he has. And as we mentioned, from this corner, if you go back the other side of the block, that is the sewage treatment plant. That is operational. Unlike in Marietta, where I was yesterday, the water sewage plant here is still operational and has been operational the entire time because crews are going to, if we can show this boat over here, Josh, that the congressman was in when he inspected it, the crews are going to and from that water treatment plant in these boats to make sure that they are fresh and they're working, and everybody in this area in New Cumberland and the borough is going to have some fresh water that they can use to take showers and do whatever it is that they have to do to clean up. So as far as this is concerned, the water's gone down, I would say 4 or 5 feet in the past couple hours. They have a high water mark back here. There is a curfew in New Cumberland. It starts at 10 o'clock. This curfew is also a little bit different than the one in Harrisburg or the one in where I was yesterday in Marietta, in that it's just stay away from the water. Stay away from where they have these pylons and where they have the horses keeping you away. As long as you do that, people around here will be fine. Live at the Cumberland County Mobile Newsroom in New Cumberland, Chris Pabst, CBS 21 News.